Everybody's not going to understand what you go through, and that's okay. I want you to understand that your trials and tribulation is your gift, but you can't resist it. The things that you go through, you will grow through them, but you have to face what you're going through with resilience, because what you resist will persist. I like to tell everyone, we all have our own shit pile. Now, what you have in your shit pile may be totally different from what I have in my shit pile. But do you know when a dog takes a shit, it's got to be cleaned up. It's got to be cleaned up. So everybody's shit pile has to be cleaned up. So at the end of the day, if you want to get over the hump, get over the obstacles and the adversity, you've got to clean up your shit pile. So whatever you got in that pile, you've got to correct it. You've got to set some new rules, some new boundaries in place to live by, because nobody's coming to save you. Nobody's coming to save you. And what that means is not that nobody's there to help, because you will receive help. God will place people in your life that are strangers that will support you more than the people you call family and friends. And that is what life's about, because certain support system, we're not looking for our family and our friends to be hitting the like button and all that type of stuff. We're not talking about that. I want you to understand, you have to have your mind in a space where you can create boundaries that serve you. So you can create the rules to live by that serve your morals and your values. Athletes, parents, anybody out there, you have to understand that your mistakes that you make in life is an opportunity for growth. That is what this is about. This is an opportunity for growth. And at the moment you start comparing yourself is the moment your shit pile starts to get bigger, because now you're comparing and competing with everyone else but yourself. So your shit pile grows a little bit more. And what I like to tell people is you got to have a seat on a bench and sit right next to your problems. Give your problems a hug, because that's what that shit pile is. It's just some problems that you want to get over. You want to get past. You want to make it over the hump. Well, see, you got to have a seat on that bench and sit right next to your shit pile. Sit right next to your problems. The longer that you resist them, they will persist. Ask yourself, how much better could I be if I dissolve this problem? If I get rid of this problem by solving it? How much better would I feel? How much better would I create? How much better would I be at work, for my family and my relationship? Or you might not even be ready for a relationship if you have a big shit pile you haven't tended to. Now, for my athletes, 20 years old and younger, yes, you have a shit pile. It may be that you failed a class. Maybe you were mean to a student or a teacher. Maybe you got in a fight and you got some marks on your name. You got some strikes next to your name that you need to fix. How you going to fix those? You got to face them. You just got to face them. That may mean an apology. Do you need to put out an apology? Who do you need to go talk to rectify the situation? Because in life, in 2025, you have the opportunity to fix, create, apply, retain. This is the age of information. There is nothing that anyone cannot figure out with research, with AI. You have the opportunity. So whatever problems you have going on in your life, you may not have the right person to talk to yet, but you can start making the right decisions, because the right decisions are what you can control, and the decisions and choices are not outside of you. They are not outside of you. Now, the excuses don't lead to results. The excuses don't lead to results. Now, you can't try to take everything on at once that's in the shit pile, okay? But you got to pick one thing that you may be struggling with and choose to tackle it, because that's one less thing that you got to worry about. And we all know what happens when we start to worry. No matter how old we are, we could be as young as 15, 20, 25 years old. We start to worry when the stress comes, the anxiety comes, the hormone changes. Now you're not the same athlete anymore. You're not playing the same anymore. In fact, if you let those things tear you down, you'll start to have performance anxiety. This may mean that you struggle in practice, but you play good in the game. Maybe you play good in practice, but then you struggle in the game. Either way, we need consistency on both sides, because if a scout comes to practice and you look like crap, but then you look great in the game, the scout still doesn't understand what type of player athlete, individual that they're getting. So we got to handle our shit pile. And no career that you go into, no business partner, no relationship, people don't want you to have them shit piles. They don't want you to be dragging and carrying along your shit pile, because the truth is, when my dog takes a crap, I got to clean it up. I can't let it sit there for 3 and 4 days. I looked at it 3 times in a row already because I've left the house 3 times. That shit pile got to be cleaned up. And that's the point that I'm trying to make, okay? Your pile of crap has to be cleaned up in order for you to get to where God wants to take you. In fact, that shit pile that you have is because God is testing you, but he's also giving you all the intangibles to make the proper decisions so that you can learn the things and do the things that need to be done so that he can grant you the life, so that you can be granted the life that you deserve. Because you say you deserve greatness, but see, God is putting all these things in front of you that maybe you're not aware of yet. But once you start working on that shit pile, you become aware. And you're like, oh my gosh, I didn't know that was right in front of me. Well, it's been there the whole time. But you chose not to start working on yourself. But as soon as you start working on yourself, things start to pop up. Oh, I can do this, I can do that, because you're getting rid of the pile that's slowing you down. Everyone has to face their problems. What you resist will persist. Clean up your shit pile. Let's work.